Hello. I wasn't expecting the past couple weeks to be such doozies. So here we are. And I thought I should probably record a little video explaining what we're even doing here. Sort of like an orientation to this whole thing. I have a couple cards that I'll use as some sort of intro for this. The Fool from Tarot, right? And I have from another deck too. So we have this sense of play, and it's it's 0 in the major arcana, so it's the beginning, right? So it's setting off on this trek. It's with this animal companion, right? This white dog. There's a sense of adventure here, and there's also a sense of play, right? And going forward. And the archetype card is the seed. So this is the origin. This is the beginning. Out of the seed, right? You have the potential of the tree within the seed, right? The acorn is a tree just waiting to become a tree, right? And so the point that I'm trying to make here is that this is the beginning, and this is an exploration, and an exploration together, right? It's about play, growth, and sharing. It's not something like a guru or a teacher or anything like that, right? We're doing this together. It's about humility, right? So what I learn, be learning with all of you. And it's about self-exploration. Right? So as I learn from all of you, then the growth continues. And everything that is here on the page is an offering and an invitation, right? Nothing is a command. Everything is just sort of an invitation that I'm extending from me to you. To try something out or explore or examine or whatever. So my background and interests are really varied. So what I offer will also be varied. I look to astrology, tarot, yoga, many other things. And the reason it's so varied is that in the end, I believe that everything comes from source, and everything's just a manifestation of that and a different perspective of how we get to that, how we get to source, how we get to experience source. And you can use whatever words you like, universe, life, spirit, source. Right? And I'm guided by intuition and the energy around me. So things shift and change all the time, right? My practice doesn't always look the same because the energy around me changes, right? And so it's always an adaptation to what is happening, right? And there is a sort of discipline to like maintaining some sort of constant, right? But the constant is to be led by that intuition, and to be led by this like guiding force in the self that is not external to me, like not being told like, well, this is what I should do every day, right? It arises from the divine inside. So sometimes we'll meditate, sometimes we'll do breath work, sometimes we'll move our bodies, sometimes I'll do energy updates or tarot readings or conversations with others. And so just know that all the offerings are responsive, right? They're not static. And so many traditions resonate with me, as I said before, about the source and different manifestations of it and different perspectives of ways to get into it, right? So you'll hear me talk about the gods and goddesses of yoga and Buddhism and Norse mythology and archangels and spirit guides and star races, past life incarnations, and other things that will continue to be revealed to me, right? Not everything is revealed all at once, and this is a journey, so things will change, things will morph. So a bit about me: I am in addiction and trauma recovery, and I have 2 autoimmune diseases. So I definitely came into this carnation with things to work through, it seems. And there have been many pivotal moments in my life that have all led me to focus on this spiritual healing. So it required a complete breakdown. There were many smaller breakdowns along the way until it was like a major breakdown. And like the vending machine like finally being like tipped over, and it seems like there's no going back to that timeline. But the thing that has remained throughout the course of my life and even as a child has been that question of, why am I here? And for me, it used to be a really scary question that elicited this feeling of me just being in this void and like floating in nothingness, and like everything was chaos and life was always happening to me, and it was like bumping up against things like after another. And since my complete breakdown and starting this healing journey, I have woken up to the experience that that is not true necessarily. It's not a thing of pain in life happening to me, but they happen for me for various reasons, right? And we won't always know all these things, right? If it's coming from a past life and it's something that I work through in this life, you know, that's something, or you know, whatever. It's not up to me to know the reason for all of that. And so what happened when I got sober is like finally the channel started to become more clear, right? I was no longer just numb, totally out of my body. And so I started to experience the world in a completely different way. And now, instead of me in this ball floating out in space, right, it's my everyday life has all this meaning to it, with all these different things that become signs and symbols from spirit. There's still a struggle, and there's hard work to do, but it isn't done in a vacuum, and it's done in service of the collective and in service of others, right? It's not just like improving myself to improve myself, right? It's not this self-help stuff. It's about clearing out the channel, identifying all this stuff that's like mucking up the system, getting rid of that, so information from the universe and others can come into me to be helpful to other people. It's all about being a vessel for spirit, being that channel that spirit can run through to others. So if you're here for it, I'm here for you, and I create for you. And consider everything that I do here as is an offering of gratitude for your generosity. So if that's what you're about, get on board, that's what we're going to be doing here. So you can sign up for the Patreon, and each week, or sometimes if the weeks aren't good, you know, you'll get multiple ones in another week, but you'll get videos or meditations, and also an art creation by me every month. And this is also experimenting too, so some months it might look like a performance art piece through videos, sometimes it'll be a sound art piece, sometimes it'll be a drawing that I send to you. It really varies. So if you're up for the exploration and the sense of doing this together, then please sign up. And all of the levels get the same thing. It just depends on what is available to you at any point in time for the payment. So reach out, I'm here. You know, you can just throw money in the tip jar, whatever. I appreciate all of you, and I hope to see some of you soon.